Hey guys, Fight Flicks here, and today we got UFC 317 fight predictions. This is probably going to be the biggest card since UFC 300. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so first we got the early prelims. I'm going to be honest, I've never heard of Christopher Ort or Jackson McVeigh. Chris is coming from Furry FC and Jackson's coming from LFA. They are both undefeated. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to go with Jackson here. He's younger. Wish I could explain further, but when I was making this script, my Fight Pass was not working. I could not pull up fights for them with Fight Pass. That's another problem I want to get into further in the future, but skip on that for now. Next is Jahanta Dinez versus Alvin Hines. Look, Dinez can't wrestle. We know this from his last fight with Tabia. But he's 3-1 in the UFC, and that's a decent record. That's hard to do. Hard to go 3-1 in the UFC. He was doing okay on the feet and just got destroyed by Tybria once he got put to the ground. Hines is also coming from the LFA, and it's also undefeated, but he's very slow. I watched his striking. It did not look very good. It looked very slow. He looked cautious, and then his wrestling and grappling looks so sloppy and bad. I'm gonna have to go with Dennis on this one. Probably by even a TKO. Okay, next fight is Nico Price versus Jacoby Smith. I'm not gonna break this one down too much because holy, this is obvious. Jacoby Smith is going to kill Price. Jacoby by whatever he wants. Next, to open the prelims, Terrence McKinley versus Vyacheslav Borshev. I think I got that right. Okay, we all love Terrence McKinley. He's either going to kill or be killed, and that's why we love him. Now that we got the Terrence McKinley glaze done with, Begshev also has some crazy KO power. This fight is pretty much a guaranteed knockout. Now with Begshev coming off a U decision loss to Tom Nolan, I'm going to go with Terrence on this one. Next one we have Vething Ajijo versus Tracy Cortez. We all are ready to see Tracy back in action. I'll be honest, I haven't seen much of Vivian Arujo. Like, I know she's been around for like 5 years now, and remember when she beat Andrea Lee, because Andrea Lee is from my hometown. I keep up with her on not with her, but like I keep up with her career. But I think Tracy gets back on her hype train this weekend. You know, she lost to Rose, but I think she can get back on this train. Rose is a tough fight. Like, let's be real here. I think Tracy gets back to it. All right. Next fight, we got Jose Miguel Delgado versus Hyder Emil. Two up-and-comers in the featherweight division. Now, this fight is pretty even, I think, at least. But both of them are coming off of big win streaks. Now, I don't like that Hyder is 35 years old and his last win was a split decision. Jose Miguel, his last win was coming off a TKO, and he's younger, he's faster, he's hungrier. I'm gonna have to go with Jose Miguel Delgado. Okay, next fight. Next we got Jack Gatekeeper Himerson versus Gregory Robocop Rodriguez. Gregory is coming off of a loss by Jared Cannonier. It was a pretty good fight. I went back and rewatched that fight, and he was beating Jared until he wasn't. Like, he looked pretty good until he didn't. Like, that third round and then that fourth round where he just got TKO'd. But Jack Henderson is also a dog. Last win being against Joe Paifa. Being over a year now since he's last fought, though, and him being 38 years old does not look too good for Jack, but also RoboCop also lost to a 38-year-old last time. So take that with a grain of salt. But I think I'm going to have to go with RoboCop on this one. Okay, we have the card opener here. Peyton Buttvape Talbot versus Felipe Lima. Peyton, coming off a very tough loss and being the joke for a couple of months, have probably motivated Talbot quite a bit. but he has maybe even tougher competition against Felipe Limina. But first, this fight is going to be a banger on the feet. Let's get that straight here. We also acting like Peyton can't strike. He got out grappled. He got wrestled. Okay, it wasn't that he got outstriked. He just couldn't keep up with the grappling. But Lima striking is very elite. It's very elite. But guys, let's not sleep on Talbot here just because he's with the Frank Ocean did. Losing is a part of the journey to the top. After getting dominated the whole fight, he hits a sweet hip toss on Barcisles at the end of the fight. That's how you know he's still trying. He's growing. He's learning. Okay, he's still improving. He's still young. This shows the growth mindset he has. Lima also hasn't fought at 135 in like 3 fights or 2. Who knows how the weight cut can go? So I'm gonna go with Peyton Talbot on this one. Okay, we got Beneil Darniche versus Rento Money Monaco. Bring him the money! But sadly, he might be losing the money. If you look at their fight history, Monaco wins have been all non-grapplers, people that he can dominate by just grappling. And then he also got dominated by Islam, but to be frank, everyone gets dominated by Islam. Monaco has also gotten easy matchups, so for him. I think Darniche has gotten very hard matchup. Arman, Charles, Gamrot. I think Darniche's grappling might be on like the same level that Monaco's grappling is, and I think his striking is way better. Like Darniche has beat Gamrot. Let's keep that in mind here, okay, guys? And Gamrot has some of the best wrestling in the division. So y'all really think Monaco's gonna be able to get Darniche down? And then y'all really think Monaco's going to be able to outstrike Darniche? The only reason Monaco got the fight other than Darniche was because Monaco has a funny persona. Okay, it is funny. And then especially like, I don't care, bring me the money. I'll take the fight on 24 hours notice. Like, that's hilarious and such meme potential for the UFC. So I'm going to have to go with Darniche on this one, guys. Next big fight. Brandon Royal versus Joshua Fan. Now, Fan is the man of the people. I think the run for Fan, though, is not over, but I think it's about to be delayed. Brandon is on 2-fight win streak right now against Moreno and Taster Terrera. And also, Batonja couldn't even finish him. Y'all think Fan's gonna finish him? Let's be real here. Brandon has very elite boxing, but so does Van. Okay, I understand that. Okay, let's talk about Van now. Van is 23 years old, coming off a win from 316 against Bruno Silva via TKO. But let's not forget, a year ago, he lost to Charles Johnson by TKO. Brandon is a very elite boxer. There's a good chance he can catch Van, dude. There's a very high chance he can do it and get the KO. Let's not forget, Brandon is the #1 contender here. So I'm locking in Brandon Royal. Okay, co-main event. Alexandre Pantoja versus Kyle France. Pantoja is footsteps away from becoming the GOAT of his division, but he needs to secure the win first. And Kyle is coming off a KO win from Steve Ersteg, okay? Ersteg is good, but you can't he's just gonna rely on his power. Like, the only way you see Kyle France beating Pantoja is by a KO. You don't see him winning by decision. You don't see him winning by submission here. I think Pantoja is going to do strictly business and put him away. I think, dude, he is so close. He is so close to being on the GOAT of flyweight. He just needs a couple more wins. You really think Kyle France is going to stop that? Y'all really think that? Come on, guys. It is time for the main event of the evening. Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. Ilia has the touch of death, but Charles Oliveira has the heart of the fan base, the soul of a lion. And he's not going to give up. That's the thing with Charles. He's not going to give up this fight. It's going to be until his chin gives up or the refs stop it. But Ilia's coming off a win against Max. Knocked Maxed out. He knocked Volk out. And now Charles is coming off 9 months since he beat Chandler which he dominated, by the way, out-wrestled an all-American wrestler and made him look stupid. And then also stumped his leg a lot, something that he's going to be able to do to Ilya very, very easily. Like, Ilya is very heavy on that lead leg. He's going to be able to do that very easily against Ilya. He's gonna have to stump that leg he's gonna have to kick the body, throw a bunch of head kicks. He's gonna have to keep Ilya on the back foot here. If he can keep Ilya which is hard. That's very hard to do. That easier said than done. I know, okay? Ilya's pressure is crazy, but Charles is just gonna need to crack Ilya here. Like, we forget Charles can crack people. He cracked Gaethje, guys. Charles has unseen power here. He can crack people and then jump. He's got to crack Ilya and jump on the submission. And then also, I don't think Ilya has better grappling than Charles. I think Charles' grappling is better. You can see kind of on his takedowns. You see when he fought Max was able to get to his feet very, very easily. And what you see is he wasn't keeping his head pressure on Max. Like, if you watched Usman versus Buckley, you saw Usman dig his head into Buckley. Just dig. Ilya wasn't doing that against Max. So what Charles is going to have to do is keep Ilya on the back foot, stump out the leg, body kicks. He's going to have to look for that crack and then take him down and get that submission. That is Charles' game plan. And Ilya, what Ilya's going to do is he's going to pressure, back him into that corner, and then knock him out. That is Ilya's game plan, and there's a good chance that works. Like, there's a very good chance that works, and that's what I'm worried about. That can work. But if you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. I'm gonna have more content out, a couple edits out, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.